Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com. Remember, learning this hidden way of communicating in these different patterns actually triggers her mating system and turns her on sexually. So remember, the hidden form of right brain communication literally turns her on sexually. I know it seems odd because the male mating system is not connected to the right brain's communication center. So if you're listening to these videos going, yeah, this is boring me, I know, because you're a guy. But once you learn how to use this stuff with a woman, all of a sudden they touch you, they cook, they clean, they want to have sex, and on and on and on, and they treat you very, very well. When you don't learn how to do this stuff, especially the hidden right brain emotionally fulfilling form of communication, women get really fucking pissed. They get angry. They'll divorce you, they'll take your dog, they'll take your house, they'll take half your fucking money, and they will turn your family against you. That's how pissed off women get if they don't get this one thing. But if you're that one guy in about not quite 8 billion people, because I've trained probably about 50 to 100 people successfully over the last couple decades, because it's hard to learn. You have to learn how to do this stuff. Like literally, maybe it's not 1 out of 8 billion or 1 per billion, but let's say it's 1 per 500 million or something. Like, it's so few people on the planet that learned how to do this. You were going to be the fucking king, because this triggers her mating system. You can buy her a Porsche, a Ferrari, a Bugatti, a brand new Bugatti. You can buy her $7, $10, $15, $20 million mansion. Over a period of time, the longer she goes without receiving this hidden way, she's gonna get pissed. And it doesn't matter what you buy her. That stuff is just temporary. You know how that commercial says diamonds are for life or something like that? That's bullshit. They're not. It's a temporary high, and she gets over that within weeks to months to at best half a year, and then she's going to get frustrated. But this, learning how to communicate and stimulate a woman in this way, this is for lifetime, and she will cling to you and hold on to you. Alright, so let's get right to it. So this video is going to be about how men and women process languaging different and why we fight so much. This is going to clear something up that it's going to make you guys laugh. Alright, here's the deal. Here's what's going on. So here's the deal. Remember how I said in all the other videos how the left brain is the male brain. It's like the IBM processor. It literally processes in a linear external way, which means it goes in a line external. The right brain processes through the 5 senses: see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. And it's literally a circular, expansive processor. So you guys know how you say that women they speak in circular logic, or they have circular logic? You're right. It literally is a circular form of logic. Again, if you go down math, if you get in higher maths in college or go into physics, you'll learn there's linear math and there's non-linear, which means circular math. Alright, so here's the deal. Now watch this. I'm going to get right to it right now. So here's the deal. Let's say you speak English, because there's obviously different languages, like, you know, the Mandarin and Japanese, etc., etc. So let's say a woman is in her right brain, right? So the right brain gives certain meanings to words that the left brain does not, because the left brain processes through logic, okay? The right brain processes through the 5 senses. So here's the deal. When a woman's in her right brain, she describes things in depth. She describes them in a descriptive way using adjectives and adverbs, etc., etc. So she's saying A. Now here's what happens. A man, on an unconscious level, it's just because our brains are wired this way, we pull that information over to our left logical processor, and we literally process the same words through the logical left processor. Now, what happens? The left brain changes the meaning, or really what I should say is gives different words and different definitions, different meanings and different definitions to the same words that she said out of her right brain. So literally what's happening, she says A out of her right brain and she means A, but on an unconscious level you bring those same words over through your left brain and you process it through the left processor, and it changes the meaning to everything she just said to you. So here she is saying A, and you say, yeah, I understand. You're saying blah, 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 B. And she's like, no, that's not what I said. You're like, yes, you did. You said this, and this means that. because to the left brain it does mean that, but to the right brain it literally 180 degrees means the complete opposite. So you get frustrated and pissed off and you said, you said this and this means that. And she's like, no, I didn't. I said this and this means that. And then you go, no, it doesn't. And next thing you know, you guys are in the battle. You know, all is fair in love and war, and you guys are ripping each other apart simply because you're using two different parts of your brain. Now here's the deal. Women are both left and right brain because they have more nerves in the corpus callosum. It just means that there's a bundle of nerves in between the left side and the right side, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere, which means you have more neurological connections. So she can go left, right, whereas men can't do that. We're, for the most part, we're stuck in the left brain unless we meditate or pray or do artwork or choir or singing for about 15 plus minutes, and then we slowly go over to our right brain. But we don't do it very often and we're not conscious of it, whereas women are conscious of it. So here's what happens. Usually when she first meets you, she's in her left brain. So when you say A, she processes A through the same processor, and she understands that you mean A. You're on the same page. But eventually she's going to try to describe something more in depth, which is the right brain, by the way, because the right brain describes things in depth. So she shifts over to the right brain and she starts communicating the right brain language. The problem is women don't realize that men can't follow her over there to the right brain. So she's communicating in a different language and processing it in a different way, giving different meanings to the same words. And you're hearing B when she's saying A. And women will literally say to you, like, no, that's not what I'm saying, you know, keep up. I remember the first time a woman said, no, I'm on a different page, you know, like, turn the page, I'm on, and I remember one day going, keep up to what? What are you talking about? And she's like, come on, I'm on a different page. I go, on a different page? Like, I said, what are you talking about? What different page? So when I learned how to shift over to my right brain and I began to notice, like, oh, wait, she's in her right brain, and boom, I could shift over. I was on the same page and I'm like, oh my God. And I would talk to them like, this is what you mean? They're like, yeah. And so women are really surprised that men can't do this. Now here's the deal. In the next video, I'm going to explain to you what happened to your brain before you were born. Okay, something actually damaged your corpus callosum. I'm going to explain it in the next video. Alright guys, remember, click subscribe, and the next step is to buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Read that book. It puts a lot of the pieces together. All this stuff, even if, look, I know right now you're like, well, this, okay, no, I'm going to say this. All right, so here's the deal. Remember, your mating system is not connected to your right brain's communication center. So you're going like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's what you have to understand. When you switch over to your right brain, her mating system goes, wait, what the fuck? It gets triggered, number one. So she starts feeling romantic feelings for you, and she automatically connects them to you. Number two, women will look at you differently because they get a feeling like, whoa, this is different. They will say things like, wow, guys don't normally talk this way. Like, I've never met a man that knows how to do this. You suddenly become what they call a high-valued male. All that other bullshit that, like, literally you could make $1 million a month, literally for the last 10 years, and have investments and all this shit, and they don't consider you a high value male at all. They consider you a little boy that they have to babysit and take care of because you're in the boy brain, which is the logical brain. Yeah, it makes a lot of money on the modern world, but when it comes to the female mating system and our emotional system, it's meaningless, guys, and they don't like that. So here's what I'm saying, guys. When you learn how to do even the basics, right brain language, the right brain way of being, etc., it unconsciously naturally triggers her mating system, and she connects that to you and she gets turned on. Now I know it doesn't work for you. Now here's the kicker. When you start doing this and it starts clicking in women, you'll see her eyes dilate, you'll see her body suddenly soften up, you'll see her reach out and kind of stroke your arm or invite you over, you know, for lunch or whatever, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, women will treat you completely differently. Alright guys, remember to click the subscribe button, click the like button, and the next step is buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.